The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 512 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is Out of This World. No? Space joke? No? Anyway, and it is the 6th edition of the Orbit playing cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So here we have the Orbits here, in that matte finish tuck box. It's more of a, I guess more of a green, like a darker forest kind of green matte finish talk box with that little white border on the front. It says orbit there with that little orbit circle. And you can see that there's like a space, kind of like stars in the background. It's like that circle with the trees. One side has the little information here. It just says distributed by orbitbrown.com. Illustrated by Daniel Schneider. Made in the USA. On the other side it says 6th edition. On the bottom you just got that orbit circle logo there. And then you got a little, instead of like the space, like the rocket ship or spaceship, you got a little UFO. On the back, a little sneak peek of that back design. For the seal, you got a blue square seal with that like almost kind of like a glow in the dark color, like little orbit circle. On the top, you got the 23 and kind of more an alien style font. On the tuck flap here, it says, "The deep you gaze into the cosmos, the harder it is to look back, persist, and endure." Then the inner tuck flaps have a little UFO and a little alien face. Take the cards out of the box. Inside of that tuck box, it is that matte green finish. And it says, and it has a little hashtag at the Orbit deck. And then there's their little Instagram handle. And the inside of the tuck box has a little bit of a theme, so it's like, it will focus. You kind of see a little bit of a star design in there. And then that side is green. It's hard to see inside the tuck box, but there's a little bit of a pattern in there. And then always at the bottom, it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but it says, "We are Orbit." There at the bottom. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. You can lightly see it, but it's dark inside the tuck box. And it has like a reverse tuck box, so it does say Orbit on the inside of the tuck box as well. But now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And always start with that backside. So here we have a mirrored backside with the standard white border. There's a little bit of an edge break there. Well, first we have that classic orbit circle there in the middle, the thick white circle with that kind of more like teal kind of color in the middle. There you got the trees around it. Then you got the UFO there with that kind of little green line. That is a little bit of an edge break, so you get a little bit of pattern when you fan them. And then you got like the stars in the background, so like a bluish kind of background there. And then you got that white border. And it is mirrored, so if you flip it over, same design in both the directions. A pretty nice back design there. Orbit always makes fantastic back designs. And then for the cards here, we got the Jokers here. We got two identical Jokers. It says Joker there, and then you got the circles there in the corners. Then you got the alien instead of like an astronaut or something. You got like the alien riding a bike there, and you just got the rock there with the 23 on it. Then we get to the custom Ace of Spades. You got the big spade there, and then you got the astronaut there taking a little picture there of like the Earth there. And then if you like look right there. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can kind of see a little bit of a UFO there. That says Persist and Endure, the Orbit deck, and then their website, and then 23. Then the rest of the cards are still there. It is a fully custom deck. So you got custom suits there for the spades. This is that classic Orbit font. So they use this font for like all their decks there. So I just like to call it Orbit font. And you got instead of like the black colorway for the spades, you took a dark bluish green there. See a little bit easier on the core cards. You got the custom core cards here. Well, pretty like standard design, I guess. But like some of the faces are custom here. Like the Jack here is a custom face on it. And then you got the custom colorway, that kind of greenish teal with the yellow colorway. And then the diamonds, that custom diamond suit there. With the diamonds more of a slightly more of a square shape. Then you got the Jack, Queen, and King of diamonds. Once again, you got that custom colorway with some of them having custom faces there. Same thing for the clubs here, the custom color with the custom faces. For some of the core cards, not all of them. And then you got that custom colorway for the clubs here in that kind of darker greenish blue colorway. And lastly, the hearts, Jack, Queen, and King hearts, same thing. That custom colorway was some of them having the custom faces. And then the hearts are those custom suits there. And the last two cards in the deck is the extra 8 of spades, so I blanked there for a second. And then you got the double backer of that back design. And now that we look at the cards for the handling, they're just that classic air cards from the United States Play Company. So they will handle fantastic. There. And these cards have been slightly used already before, but they still handle fantastic. They actually feel like a thin stock of a card because they have a really like crazy flex to them when you go to spring them. So they're definitely a thinner stock. So if you like thinner stocks, then this is a nice deck to have. But overall, they're pretty smooth. Like they handle like super nice. All the Orbit decks will handle super fantastic. And you've got that little pattern there, which looks fantastic. It almost looks glow in the dark. So that kind of glow in the dark green almost. It looks fantastic for fans. And then if you were to ferro them, you kind of get like a double kind of line there for a giant fan. So, there. So pretty nice. And as always, they pack a cut just super easy. No issues there. And these, obviously, orbits are fantastic for packet cutting or cardistry moves, just because of like, the style design they are. There. They riffle fantastic as well. No issues there as well. So overall, they handle fantastic, and they just look fantastic. There. Orbit has done it once again with another fantastic deck. So, I guess, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 512 of Daily Deck Review. And this has been the 6th. It will never focus, will it? I can kind of see it. There's 6th edition of the Orbit playing cards. And I'm the Creator Garly, signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.